Eh, Thank you so much, and I'm very flattered. If you wrote that, can you send it to me? Because I want to, I drop it somewhere where my wife can read it and be able to respect me. But I'm very happy. It's very nice, by the way. Yeah, thank you so much. And I think this is a wonderful initiative that you have to discuss this very key topic, which has impacted so many people. And sometimes people don't even know that it is affecting them. And I think the only way we can be able to succeed in taking care of our friends, ourselves, is by sharing, to be able to understand how such things happen. Um, I have been mentoring a young girl who is based in South Africa. She was preparing an app which helps people or mobilizes people who can volunteer and take care of young ones who are suffering from mental health. That is the little that I know, but what I've known from helping develop that app, which is now going international, is that even us, at some point, we get stressed, or at some point, the world looks like it has come to an end. Um, Recently, I wrote an article. Um, Actually, I was just sharing what I went through when I was a student at the US and Europe here, meaning that there were times you would even question yourself whether you're on the right track or whether what you're doing is correct, or what you should pursue what you're doing. Um, Everybody is born with dreams. Everybody is born hoping to achieve things, and sometimes they are not achievable. So at times when I thought I went to US to study and buy a car that I can't afford in Kenya, and found myself washing dishes instead or washing toilets instead, I would ask myself whether something was very wrong with me. But then I said it is just a transitional thing. I would overcome this. But the most important thing that I go back to the app that I was helping this young lady develop, is that even though people don't know that they need professional advice or professional help, you can notice if someone is not herself or himself, and in that case, you need to suggest if you are not capable of providing advice or help, uh, to be able to suggest that that person sees a professional, such as a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a counselor, a therapist, the one who can provide guidance and support based on individual needs. It is easier said than done. And I try to use my own experience to explain such environment. When I was a second year student, I skipped an exam, and the professor told me that I I would not be given a makeup test unless I had a letter from a doctor. So I went to the university clinic and said I had lost my uncle, and I felt very bad. So I was not able to do the exam. The doctor panicked and sent me to a psychologist on campus. And the psychologist was a very smart man. He sat me there and started asking me questions, how I felt. about losing an uncle. I had lost an uncle, but it was a distant uncle. And then he started probing, asking questions. Did I feel like I'm going to take my life? Did I feel like I started getting scared because those questions were very detailed. And I'm just telling you this to know that our mind is so such that there are some questions which it cannot handle very well. And I said from that time, I will not try to fake something unless I have that something, that the feeling that you are feeling bad enough that you need professional services. But generally, it was the best thing I did in my life to see the psychologist who, during interrogation process, was able to bring me to a level where I was in agreement that it was not right for me to lie, that I felt so bad. Maybe the interpretation was wrong, but the point I want you to take from here is that they took it very serious. But if someone called you and said, I'm not feeling good, you probably will brush it off or say something that doesn't lead to proper interrogation so that you can be helped. And I'm saying this such that we can begin to build support systems which we don't have, which we don't know. We meet as diaspora, but we don't know whom to lean on if something happened. Who can I share my feelings with? Who is the trusted friend or family? Sometimes talking about you are going through, and it can be a significant source of relief. Because once you get relief, like I did, and then I realized that I shouldn't have done what I had done, is what we aspire to get to. But also, there are smaller things that happen, which I've learned from what this young lady is doing, that regular physical activity or physical health is very important, where you take care of yourself nicely, take a walk, take sufficient sleep. I've never managed to sleep the recommended number of hours to sleep. Deprivation of sleep also can lead to serious problems. I know even yourself, you assess yourself, you find you sleep less than 7 hours. I think it's 7 hours, which is recommended. I don't remember when I had a good 7 hours sleep. But when you lose it, it has an impact on your mental health. Physical and mental well-being are closely connected. So if you are not able to get sufficient sleep, you need then to do a lot of physical activity so that you get tired. When you sleep, you can be able to sleep. I hope I'm explaining it because I am getting this from the knowledge I've gained from this young lady. Establish a routine, which is something we've been told from a very long time ago, that if you sleep at 10 and wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning, the routine regularizes you such that when you have a structure in your day, you can provide a sense of stability and purpose. So I wanted to raise a few points, maybe one more. There is something which Asians do, and I saw this with this young lady. We don't have what you call relaxation, and how to relax and how to practice mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Some people do yoga, some people do various exercises. I know it sounds like crazy to recommend such things, but it does help. It does help even once in a while to treat yourself to a massage. Sometimes they massage your head and you feel good, and maybe you forget some of the problems that lead up to mental health. The last thing that I've learned from the app is we normally fail to set realistic goals. When I started talking about my career path and the surprises that I went through, is when I did not see that I was realizing my goals. This is what I want to attain by the time I get here. And if it doesn't work, then it frustrates you. It leads you to begin to thinking. And if you don't have techniques of limiting stressors, what is stressing you, then you have a problem. I am not an expert. I'm just telling you what I gained from a young lady who was developing an app and trying to leverage on the app to link people across the world who can talk to one another as friends and be able to relieve stress so that you stay out of mental health problems. That is the very little that I know on mental health, but I think everybody has gone through a process very close to mental problems, but we don't accept it or we don't agree to share. Sharing actually helps by saying, when you hear people say, I went nuts, I've not slept, I've was not eating well, those frustrations don't take them easily or begin to laugh. Interrogate a little bit, and interrogate, why do you feel, what caused the stress, and what is it that can be done? You would find that you have helped someone whom you didn't think has a mental health problem. So that is the much I can share. I hope it helps you. This is from this young lady, Mafole, from South Africa. I could share the app at some point. You create a network of friends whom you just chat. So thank you for asking me. It challenged me, and I hope I've said something.